it sounds to me like you are actually more careful than I would have guessed about what you put out there. And considering that you put out a lot, okay?
I shouldn't be telling you my secrets now.
No,
Jennifer,
this is fabulous.
This is not the way it works.
Okay, no, I love it. I'm having fun. So I'm just thinking to myself, that kind of leads into that you didn't just start a vlog. You had a purpose, right? Okay, there was an inspiration for it. You had a purpose, and I'm assuming there's an end goal. Would that be correct?
That's a very good point, and yes, well observed, and yeah, that is true. Is there just a one end goal? I don't know, and I'm always very careful with the end goals, because it's that thing about if you focus just on one thing, then you miss everything else around.
Well, the goal can move.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah, absolutely. But I'm just saying that yes, there is, to a certain degree, yes, there is a goal, there is a path.
Okay, so let's go back a little. So then, being that you thought this out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I know you thought this out because you told me you spent a lot of time also watching a lot of YouTube tutorials.
Yeah.
What made you decide to do it? Why did you decide to do it?
Okay, so the to long story short, it was during the module during the masters, and one of the questions that was coming about was about innovation and how do you innovate within your own business. And in this particular area, I know it's a word that every acupuncturist now just turned this off and go like, I don't want to hear that word, but we are a business. We run a business, big or small. Our clinic and our profession is a profession. We run a business.
Right. Let me just ask, I'm so sorry. For American people, what exactly is a module?
Oh, so like a semester. So
okay, and was this at Chinese medicine school?
This was for the master's degree. So this was the second year of the masters, and one of the modules, which would be like, say, one of the lectures or one of the terms, one of the papers you have to write.
Or it's a semester. Okay.
Yeah, and you would have to do the paper then at the end and whatever. Was about innovation. It was an innovation in your own business, and in this case to do with acupuncturists. Now, bearing in mind that within the class there's different people. Not all of them are acupuncturists, or not all of them are just acupuncturists.
Right.
And I really liked it. I found it really challenging from, think about it, like you're an acupuncturist. So, for any medical profession, how the hell are you going to innovate? Like it's what you do, right? You're not going to come up with any new way of doing what you do best. So then it kind of like, that was a step back and say, okay, what is there more than this? And long story short, it got to, okay, so two things. Number one, how to communicate. This is where it all links then to Mel as well, but how to communicate with not just the people before they're even in your clinic and before they are your patients. So with the public, with your colleagues that work with you in the clinic. So it could be, your physiotherapist, it could be your MD, it could be anyone, the consultant, anyone. And also because at the time I was still involved in the political side of things with policymakers as well. How do you pass on, again, that thing about language? And so that was one aspect. And the other aspect was, okay, what if there's more? What if I want to do more than just the clinic? So instead of just the clinic, how do I move on? What do I have to do? What do I need to do in terms of becoming a good, not just a speaker or a lecturer, but a good speaker and a good lecturer? Kind of like it
was one of your goals to become somebody who does more talk. I hate saying talking, but you wanted to do more speaking and lecturing.
Yeah, I really like that aspect. So if you ask me, for example, from the clinic, I really like the first appointment.
Okay.
The first appointment is really exciting for me because not only it's the discovery, which links to my previous life as well, when I was something other than an acupuncturist.
What was it?
It was electronics engineer. So
Oh,
so then
okay.
finding the faults and why is it not working, and then can it be fixed, and yeah. So I really like that, and I really like that communication, that one-to-one that happens in the clinic, as you know, especially for that first appointment. And then it just got me thinking that, for the little bits and the times that I had to do something in terms of either doing a little bit of lecturing in the college here in Ireland, and talks, and as we normally do with support groups and stuff like that. And it really got to me. And as I was getting in more and more into the masters and to the research, I wanted to just tell other people what, how cool this is, and what I'm doing. So that's where it came about. So I don't know if I would go as far as saying that that's what I wanted to do and that's all that I want to do, but I like the opportunity to be able to pass it on to others. In other words, just without sounding big-headed, but just kind of leave a legacy that someone else can pick up on and say, I'm going to, even if not the same, I'm going to pick up on this and continue.
So your inspiration, I'm a little unclear. Was it to enhance your skills, find other ways of communicating with people and getting information to both the public and acupuncturists?
Yeah. So what's the best way? Well, you know the answer to this because you know me, but what's the best way of starting to do something? Just do something, right?
Yeah.
So I thought, well, while I have no one to speak to just yet, because those opportunities don't come just yet, I thought, I'll do it in front of the camera.
Okay.
Right? Because you're going to be able to watch it again.
Right.
So you have that advantage of, if you do a public talk, you might not be able to have the opportunity to sit down and listen to it again. So I thought, well, you're going to have to edit the video. So you're going to have to see, you're going to have the opportunity to pick up on the little things that you do. And remember, we talked about the hands and everything.
But the hands are good. The hands are good. No, you should purposely put your hands in. And I'm going to tell you why. It's scientific. Okay? Our hands, and this goes back to primal instincts when we were cave people. Our hands are our trust indicators.
Yeah.
So if you were to walk in with your hands behind your back, primally, that instinct of the person you're meeting, they're going to trust you less.
Yeah.
So that's why, like in the videos, I actually purposely try to put my hands up. So there is a reason, and it is a bonus if you do it naturally.
So you see, those were the little things that I thought would be a good opportunity to do. And obviously, a lot of the times you say about me putting stuff out there, and I put out a lot of the times it's really to kind of just push the boundaries and just see how comfortable am I with that? How comfortable do I look on camera as well? And it's by doing it, really, because there's no way I'm going to get better at it unless you just do it a lot.
Okay. So really, you kind of are doing these interviews or these videos so you can then observe yourself and improve.
That sounds just so selfish.
No.
But in reality,
saying,
there's even more than that, Jennifer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I only realized that at the second or third interview, and I was like, I have this amazing opportunity of having some time with these amazing people. Mm-hmm. And I'm working because I'm recording and I'm going to edit, but I am learning loads. So it was, the interviews are there's a lot of different aspects to it. Number one, sometimes it's difficult, no matter how comfortable you are as a speaker, and even as a public speaker, sometimes, these people might not have the opportunity or might not have the time or don't really want to do it and just sit in front of the camera and record something. Right. So I can even imagine that at some of those people might even be a challenge just to be on camera and just say, let's do it just for see what comes out. It's a big it's a big deal for me in the sense that, for someone to trust me and be able to say, okay, I'll go on camera and I'll let you ask the questions and I'll let you edit and put out whatever it is that you're going to put out. I always felt that being like, let's go to the Chinese medicine and that Shen to Shen connection and say, there has to be some trust there, because you're really putting yourselves in the hands of the other person. Hint, hint, Jennifer.
You know what though? I'm realizing so much in that you definitely a little bit have a different way of looking at things than I, because I, as a general rule, I've always felt like people are comfortable talking to me. So I didn't even really think about, would people want to talk to me? I knew like if I just called somebody I had no clue of or whatever, like, or called like someone super famous, they probably wouldn't want to talk to me. But that part, I agree with you, but you know, I always, I feel like it's a given that you're going to treat somebody respectfully. Yeah. And if someone ever said something I really did not feel good about, I would just not air it. Yeah. You know, I mean, so I think that's interesting. Plus you also wanted to observe yourself. And for me, that's tough. Yeah. That's tough. You're right. It's a great learning tool, but it is difficult to watch yourself. So I think it's
Jennifer, look, like think about it this way, and sorry to interrupt you, but the thing is, it doesn't matter how perfect you're going to be, you are always going to find something on yourself, because you're much more at ease with the person you are interviewing, but with yourself you're going to be super critical, because should have done this, could have done that, you know, why didn't I say this? But that's what prepares you for the next one.
Yeah, no, you're right.
And then you learn for the one after, and so on and so on.
No, I think these are really good observations, and it just shows how people can look at the same thing and see different advantages. Yeah. So, but I just did not realize when I was asking you, like, what inspired you, that would be your answer. So I'm glad I asked.
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone, I will include, by the way, links to Sandro's blog and vlog, and anything else he wants in the video, just so you know.